Hello and welcome to Eye on Africa on France 24. I'm Clarisse Fortuné, and here's the top stories from across the continent. West African migrants deported to Ghana under Donald Trump's immigration crackdown are now taking the government to court, claiming they've been held illegally in military camps. In Cameroon, a political storm after the president's own daughter posts a viral video urging citizens not to re-elect the 92-year-old father, Paul Biya, as he seeks an 8th term in office. We'll give you the details. And in Rwanda, Kigali gears up for a historic first, the Cycling World Championships on African soil. We meet the young riders chasing their shot at glory. 11 West African nationals deported under Donald Trump's immigration crackdown have filed a lawsuit against the Ghanaian government, accusing it of illegal detention. The deportees' lawyers say they are being held in military camps with their fundamental rights violated. The expulsions are part of Washington's hardline stance on immigration since Trump took office in January. Justice Baidu reports from Accra.
The 11 are part of 14 West African nationals who Ghana says it has accepted under an arrangement with the Donald Trump administration. They are part of a bigger group that is still battling for a right to stay in the United States of America. Their individual identities have not been given, but their lawyers say they have been detained in Ghanaian military camps against their will, even though they haven't committed any crime.
The government of Ghana received a number of deportees and from the United States, which they are trying to deport to their home countries. And these are individuals who, if are permitted to be deported to their home countries, face actions such as torture and cruel and other inhumane treatments, right? And so we are essentially bringing an action challenging the deportation.
There's been contradictory statements from Ghana's President John Mahama and Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa about the whereabouts of all of these detainees, with Ghana's president saying only last week that 11 of these detainees had been deported back to their home countries. 5 of the detainees, 3 Nigerians and 2 Gambians, have also sued the U.S. government, claiming that they were protected by a court order and should not have been deported. The lawyers say their clients were held in military camps in the United States and were put in shackles and on military aircraft when they were being brought to Ghana. Ghana's decision to accept these detainees has sparked widespread concerns, with the opposition asking that the government put the agreement on hold and bring it to Parliament for ratification before it proceeds.
Now to Cameroon. Brenda Biya, the daughter of outgoing president and candidate Paul Biya, has released a video urging voters not to support her father. The clip has gone viral on social media. The opposition hails it as a boost, while the ruling party dismisses it as the exploitation of someone in distress. At 92, President Biya is seeking an 8th term in the October 12 election. Clémence Valère has the story.
Je ne voterai pas Paul Biya. Ne votez pas Paul Biya, pas par rapport à moi, mais parce que il a fait souffrir assez de gens.
These shocking remarks were made by Brenda Biya, the daughter of outgoing president and candidate for his own succession, Paul Biya. In a video posted on TikTok, which has since been removed, she claims to have cut ties with her family, who allegedly mistreated her. In the midst of the pre-election period, the video went viral. Several members of the opposition see this as a sign of a rift within the regime that has been in power for more than 4 decades.
She's calling on us not to vote for him. Who are we to vote for this man despised by his own daughter? Anyone but Biya.
Reacting to the video, the ruling party, the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, interviewed by RFI, denounced
the despicable act of exploiting the distress of a young woman for political gain, even if she's the daughter of the President of the Republic.
The election campaign will begin on the 27th of September with 12 candidates vying for the country's highest office.
In South Africa, for years, Johannesburg has turned to CCTV surveillance to fight rising crime. Now, city officials want to take it a step further by linking every private security camera overlooking public spaces to the municipal network. But what the government calls a vital tool for safety, critics see it as an invasion of privacy. And the battle has already moved to the courts. This report by Tom Kennedy, Caroline Dumais and Graham Walsh.
This is the City of Johannesburg's control room, where authorities monitor cameras to respond to crime. Johannesburg is consistently in the top 10 most dangerous cities in the world. To try to make Johannesburg safer, a law passed in February allows the city to access private residence cameras which have a view of the street.
Johannesburg Metropolis, Gauteng Province, they are together in combating crime here. Each and every vehicle is searched, stopped, surveyed, observed.
Adding those of private residents, the city will have access to over 10,000 cameras.
Fighting crime is not only the responsibility of law enforcement and government alone, but the community plays a great role because these incidents happen within the community space, and if they are our eyes and ears like the cameras, then we can definitely make sure that we put a tight nip on crime within the city of Johannesburg.
But a not-for-profit organisation is taking the city to court, claiming the law infringes privacy and that the city did not properly consult with residents before the law was passed.
Any legislation, whether it's a bylaw, whether it is a proper act, there should be public participation. It's also a constitutional right that is part of our constitution. And why? Because we are in a democracy.
The law also requires residents to pay a fee to the city for each affected camera. Some residents in the inner city, where crime has worsened over the last years, say the fees will deter people from installing proper security systems.
The bureaucratic process of it all is that it will disincentivize residents and small businesses from procuring the services that they need.
The court case is ongoing. Meanwhile, the city tries to convince its residents that centralised surveillance will help protect them.
This weekend offers movie lovers plenty to catch up on. In Lagos, the spotlight was on the much-anticipated premiere of My Father's Shadow, Nigeria's first ever film to compete at the Cannes Film Festival. The story follows a father and his two sons on a journey through Lagos, set against the backdrop of the 1993 military coup that crushed hopes of democracy.
You know what? Go and wear your clothes. You are following me to Lagos today.
But Mama said we shouldn't leave the house. That we should wait for her. And why don't you stay and wait for her? You can tell her I went with Daddy to Lagos, but he puts you in charge.
Hopefully, your mommy comes back before we go. But otherwise, we just have to leave a message for her.
It's a story about family. And I think everybody has a family, so I think that people will be able to connect with family, people will be able to connect with fatherhood and conversations around fatherhood as well, and brotherhood also.
For me, I think that the director is an amazing storyteller, and I'm just looking forward to seeing the story that he's telling unravel. I think it's going to be a beautiful thing for Nigerian cinema, and I think that this right here is the future of Nollywood.
The inspiration really was to make something that's in service to my family, something that's in service to Nigeria, something that's in service to Lagos, the city I'm from.
And another film about to make waves is Muganga, which means the one who cares in Lingala. Inspired by Nobel Peace Prize Denis Mukwege, the renowned Congolese doctor who has spent decades treating survivors of sexual violence in Eastern DRC. The film pays tribute to the woman whose resilience, he says, has been his greatest inspiration. Let's listen to Dr. Mukwege.
En 12 ans, l'hôpital de Panzi que je dirige a pris en charge plus de 30 000 femmes.
Ces femmes continuent à avoir l'espoir.
These women continue to have hope. They continue to love after everything they have endured. They still have the capacity to say, I want to study medicine, anesthesia, nursing, to help others.
D'infirmières pour aider les autres. Si ma communauté
If my community could discover the potential of these women, I think we could transform our society much more easily, because that level of altruism, I do not see it among us men. The war in the Democratic Republic of Congo is a forgotten war. It's a neglected humanitarian crisis. In my opinion, this work of fiction can prompt people to ask important questions that they would never ask in a documentary, where the tendency is simply to shut oneself off and think, I don't see anything, I won't expect anything, it's too difficult, it's shocking. And so we stop there. But if this film can shake things up so that politicians act, and they never act without pressure, I believe this film can truly serve as a trigger, the detonator for this awakening.
Il faut toujours répondre à la haine par l'amour.
Lots of movies to watch. A word of sport ahead of the Cycling World Championships in Kigali is the very first time the event is being staged on African soil. For many young African riders, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to test themselves against the world's best. Our correspondent Juliette Montilli went to one of the training centers just outside the Rwandan capital.
I'm here at the Savannah Center, about 20 kilometers south of Kigali. This is one of the International Cycling Union's training hubs here in Rwanda. And right now, it's buzzing with athletes preparing for the big moment. Among them, the riders from the Africa 2025 project, a program designed to help young African talents make their mark on the global stage. There are 9 of them here, men and women between the ages of 17 and 21. We caught up with them just after training, and with only 2 days to go before the competition, their determination is stronger than ever.
The fact is, I'm ready. And I'm looking forward to participate, to represent my nation, because I think I've bet a lot of odds so that I reach where am I now. And this is my first time competing, so I can't wait to shine. Yeah.
For these riders, racing with the world's elite is the chance of a lifetime. But it's also about flying the flag for Africa. Because despite its massive potential, the continent still struggles to produce professional cyclists, with only a few exceptions like Eritrea's Binyam Girmay.
I think African cycling is the champion for the championships. I think about the athletes and I think about their future. And for them to see the world coming to Africa and being part of that, to be inspired and believe that they are part of the cycling family in the world and that they have a place here and that they belong here. So I believe that this will inspire not only riders but coaches, administrators and also Europe to believe that Africa can have such a huge, enormous event.
This year marks a first, the World Championships on African soil, more than a century after its creation in 1921.
And the competition will start this coming Sunday. And that concludes today's edition for Eye on Africa. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you do so again. Stay tuned to France 24.